Hey folks, I got a different airbag. I had previously looked at the BCA E2 Float 40. Still waiting for more. Well, that's not true. I guess Ortovox on their website has more electric information, but nothing to address if you can fly with it, which is one of my gripes on a previous review. Anyway, I've got a Deuter 38 liter plus 5. It's got a little expandable cavity on the top. Just wanted to do a quick run through. Again, it's hard to find like packable information, hard to get hands on with some of these. So just sharing my thoughts. Where to get started? Cool. So on the Deuter, front access panel leads to an Avalanche pocket. So I've got my tools in there. Again, I have a fairly large shovel. That's about as far as that'll go. We've got our probe, saw, and then shovel blade. There is a small pocket in here. I was hoping to maybe, and I think even in their photo they show like, maybe a first aid kit. You probably do one of those. I put some my SAM splint in there, and it just kind of awkwardly bends over the top of the shovel. So put something in there that's maybe a little soft. And if it's not soft, it'll just kind of bulge out. It's totally fine. But there's also a little key loop in here, so you can throw your keys on. So there's an additional compartment in there. They made the orange, or the zipper orange, so that you could easily and quickly find it in case of an emergency. Possibly true there. Little loops so you can put your ice axe through. They depend upon the ice axe being kind of hollow in the blade, so this just goes through part of, if you have a little opening, you pull that through, and then your ice axe sticks in that way. The thing that I do like about this bag so far is all of the buckles are metal. This is metal, these are metal. The zippers seem to be pretty high quality, so we'll see over time. The helmet carry I thought was kind of interesting. It's zippered on the bottom, a lot of them are Velcroed, no big deal there. But they created a helmet bag. It's not just a standard kind of stretchy thing, although that's how I intend to use it. But it's actually a bag that you can put your helmet in. Seems a little silly to me, but maybe that's super practical, additional security so it doesn't fall out. And you could remove this. I think a lot of them are sewn in, but it has like a little loop with I never know what these are called, but a loop, and then a rod that you slant sideways to stick through, and then change the direction there. And that's just going to go up. You've got some loops up top, and actually this is plastic, but pretty much all the other little loops are metal. So that's going to go up there. This guy on the other side. Then that's again on your front pocket, so it's not in the way of you accessing your tools. It's not in the way of bag deployment. Stow this away real quick. And I have already packed this bag, so we'll see. And of course, as you get used to a pack, you change things over time. So there's no back access panel, but what they have is it's a 3-pull zipper to access the main compartment. So we've got 2 zippers here, and on this side it'll only go down to this top third of the pack. And then you open it, and it is a zipper that will go all the way around. In some of the areas, I found it interesting. They have a loop to tighten here on the far side of the zipper. And then they also have an inner loop, I guess depending on how much you're really trying to cinch down the pack. So that outer loop is going to be in the way. You'd have to take this off every time you want to access the pack. The inner loop, you're not tightening the pack as much, but that allows you to clamshell it all the way. And so, I want to do this stuff, yard selling, totally. Which is nice, you'd put this maybe flat on the snow, on the back, open the whole thing. I don't know that there's much of a use case for that, but maybe that's pretty rad. I love my back access panel on my Jet Force. So you open it, and you've got a decent bit of storage. So how I've at least done this for now is I've got a first aid kit, some spare bits, binding spare parts, split board spare parts, etc., an emergency blanket, a really thick pair of gloves, and then a tall water bottle. And then I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, so all that stuff can fit in there. Your electric system, or sorry, not electric, your Alproof E2 is sitting right here. And as with a lot of these, there is a side window, so you can see if that guy's on or not. I haven't charged it yet. I haven't turned it to on. It's not the season yet, so no big deal. But in terms of packability, it's like pretty reasonable. So you've got some space under that electronic system. It's a couple inches in depth. It's maybe like, I don't know, 3 inches in depth until you fold it over and you have that space to work with. The bag doesn't feel as big or as voluminous, and it's no surprise, as that BCA 40 or 45. It feels like you're just, there's a little bit reduced space. It's not as wide, perhaps, what you'd expect from a 38 versus a 45, I guess. They have this pocket on the interior. Inside of this, I've used it for my medical stuff for now. Inside of this, they do have, maybe I'm thinking of a different pocket. Let's see here. I feel somewhere they had like some webbing pockets on the inside. Oh, I think it's in the goggle pocket actually. But anyway, so this is a pretty large mesh pocket. Yeah, you can see what's in there. Pretty straightforward. Let's close this clamshell. And I say it doesn't feel as big. The way that I'll probably access the pack most is just to unzip the top portion. And when you're doing that, again, it doesn't feel as wide, so you're maneuvering around there, your hand's a little cramped in there. There's still plenty of space, 38 liters. But I almost wish this side zipper, I wish it went down a little bit further, like maybe halfway. You could then open the pack a little bit more, which would be nice. But not a huge deal, still super useful and usable. Let's talk about their expanding pocket. So same thing, there's like a little loop and whatever, to keep that organized. If you don't keep it organized, it's not just going to flail out everywhere. It's just a bit more voluminous when you do that. But the expansion is, I don't find it as aesthetically pleasing, but it seems like it'd be pretty functional. What they've done is create a roll top. So I've closed that main compartment, and then they just have this little expandable zipper option, and then that just expands out into a roll top. And now if you were to use this feature, you actually wouldn't need to open that big, clamshell zipper that I've been showing. You could just go in through the top. So that just goes all the way down into the entire bag, roll top it, close it off on top. And then two, if you do want to use a rope carry, you would have to use that roll top. So here's their little rope carry attachment that stuffs into this additional roll top. So it's kind of nice, it's out of the way. And that is closed with Velcro. Let's see these. And those are plastic as well. So the helmet carry, kind of the accessory carries we'll call them, are plastic hooks. And that stuff's away pretty easily, but I'll just roll it for now. Cool. There's our roll top. I think I rolled it the wrong way they wanted it. But you create like a pretty sizable, come on, bud, pretty sizable bag with a lot of expansion capacity up top. Again, it'd look a little weird if you were to have this roll top all the way. It's not quite as buttoned up with this weird zipper coming out, but it's nice, and you can choose to add additional capacity when you want to. Final thing, or maybe not final thing, but close to it, we've got a goggle pocket. There's some soft lining, felt lining on the front, room enough for a pair of goggles and in reach, some small snack bars or something like that. And then on the inside of this, there are a couple of, or I guess it's just one big compartment, toss a phone in there, something along those lines. So that's in the goggle compartment there. And then let's talk about the back and then the strapping systems. So you can run the handle on either side. I haven't done the experiment of trying to get in there, but I do intend to just run my radio on the right strap. And how this is set up is, back. No surprise, there's obviously a way to fish through here with your fingers, but they do say that you can put a water bladder in here. And so the actual inflatable airbag is in this pocket here. It's going to burst out the top as normal. And then in this section is actually some Velcro. And this Velcro cruises up behind it and allows you access to that shoulder strap. There is not a bladder hanger. It says that you can run a bladder in here, but my hands, you know, my fingers are right here. There's not anything to hang a bladder on. But if you do put that bladder in here, you can see there's also this little pocket here. So that's an elastic pocket. That's where your 3-liter bladder, I think that they said they could fit. And that would make sense to me. 3 liters, that's an expansive pocket. You've got this vertical space. It's just the bladder is going to be sitting in the base of the pack rather than hanging for anything, which I think most bladder compatible packs have a hanger. But anyway, that's how I intend to run the radio. Same thing, I'll put the radio down in this pocket on the side, run up through here, and there you go. That's how you would route that guy. The zippers aren't, as in the teeth of the zipper, they're not like ultra burly, so I'll be curious. You know, I'm getting caught on just a couple little things. That was the corner of my shovel. They got caught there. Probably not a big deal, but as you know, you start to pull, things aren't moving, you get snow and stuff, we'll see how long they last. The zippers are encased. It's a standard like nylon core that they then almost clear heat shrink wrap the entire thing, is what that is. And then coming back over here, probably talking most about the hip belt. Hip belt is standard kind of single piece, both metal, sliding in. That easy, quick release. I like that in my BD pack. There is this orange hoop. This is where you're going to run your crotch strap that comes out of the same pocket as well. So it stuffs behind the zippered pocket. Do this. It comes with a carabiner on top of it. Move it between your legs onto that guy. That's probably chapstick, small, more rectangular bar. I'm trying to think of like a Rice Krispie treat sized. A snack could fit in there. It's not super big, but they usually aren't. And then on the other side, you have a Petzl ice climbing carabiner that's got like a rigid back. That's kind of, I think, the idea behind this loop here. And then you've just got a separate loop that'll have a carabiner hanging on. And again, these buckles are actually metal, which is nice to see. And yeah, I was... Again, I kind of complain about, I think this design looks a little funky with when the pack is expanded. Who cares? Pack fits me, I'm 6'6", 210 pounds. Chest strap is a little high for me. I think you want it right over your nipples, but it doesn't go that big. It's hard to find packs when you're tall. But otherwise, I like the pack quite a bit. It's $1,500. But I think it's the best pack that I've seen virtually, and a lot of... I just want like 40-ish liters to carry on my stuff. So I'll probably keep this. Positive sentiment so far. And yes, in various places, there's a couple of additional loops. It does come with 2 additional little pieces of webbing that are, you know, probably a loop on one end and then one of these J-hooks, so you can add some additional loops. They do showcase that you can do a A-frame carry with your skis. You're going to be able to do a diagonal carry. I think you probably add it on this corner, and then add another accessory up here. And I say accessory, again, these little like nylon straps that they add to it. Snowboard carry, you'd add that's what, you know, you'd add it here, and then same thing up here and up here, or, you know, whatever. So you do a snowboard flat carried against the back. Hopefully that's everything.